Watching that white trash son of a bitch call Michelle Obama a fucking man is the epitome of how far we've fallen as fucking people in our country, as human beings, as men in our country. When the fuck has Michelle Obama or fucking Barack Obama ever fucking disrespected our fucking country? And it boils down to because they are fucking black. Because they are fucking black. And y'all motherfuckers out there that support all of this, support this evil that has taken over our goddamn country in that fucking White House and has taken over the fucking brains of half of this fucking country and poisoned it. And then so many of y'all still listen to Joe Rogan, but his ass was up there laughing and smiling, showing up because they're all fucking grifters. And then many of y'all wonder why we will never, ever forgive any of y'all son of a bitches that voted for this, that has brought our country fucking to the lowest point it will ever fucking be at. Y'all are all fucking pieces of shit, every goddamn last one of you. Watching that.
All right, we're going to start off by giving all praises and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops by the great millstone who taught us this truth. I'm the servant Milchamah-ba. Okay. And, yeah, man, this is what's going on right now with America. You know, it's like the apostle always says, imploding on itself. Okay. And, man, when the shit hits the fan, it's going to be hella crazy. See, you're going to have Edomites against Edomites. And, you know, that's scriptural. The Egyptian against the Egyptians, which are so-called Americans, the modern day, okay, Americans. So that's crazy, man. And matter of fact, let's grab that particular scripture. Okay. Let's see. Let's read this, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, and verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. And that's not the way this city is run, you know, America. It says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are the officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. You know, and the same, what this woman here was talking about, the MMA guy. Okay. There's this guy here. I seen it yesterday. I thought I had recorded it or saved it, but I didn't. And like it says this nation is a fucking embarrassment. You know, I don't know who he built up like that. You know, and, you know, what they say, you know, it's always been a rumor that Michelle was a man, or Michael, you know, but it's much deeper than that, you know. It's you know, it's these elites, you know, they stirring the pot. They want it to come down to a racial division, or a division in the whole. And the Lord talk about the division. He said he came to bring not peace on earth, rather division. And you know, Esau think that, you know, it's on his account, but hey, the Lord is the director, you know, and the author of this movie. And no one is veering off course, you know. Everything that's happening is of the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is of the Lord, man. Okay? So, and, you know, I seen this video. It was, you know, it was just like, okay, yeah. The only thing really, you know, when you first hear it, you take it as, face value, and like I seen in the comments, somebody said, yeah, Michelle Obama is a man. I don't know. I mean, I seen little things here and there, but I know how, you know, these different administrations are. They wicked like that, and they set up to do uh, immoral things. Okay, okay. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but she hit it on the nail on the head when she said they are fucking black. That's why which no one is actually black, but I understand what she was, what the point she was, hinting at. It's because you know, like I said, the elites want this racial war to happen. But it's going to be all out chaos and war. It's going to be a racial war, a civil war, a class war. It's going to be major division. Okay? And that's what it is, man. Okay, so let's grab that scripture I just talked about. I believe that's, is that Isaiah? Was it Isaiah 19? Which this has been coming out a lot. Okay. Okay. Isaiah 19:2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother and every one against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. Okay? That's what you're going to have, man. Hey, showing you these are the end times, But a lot of people don't look at it like it's the end times. Yeah, it's definitely the end times. Okay? Matthew 24:6, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, seeing that ye be not troubled, talking to the elect, okay, of the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and, the scattered abroad that look like the nations that they were scattered to. And I'm pretty sure with this woman here, either she could be an Israelite or maybe she's an Edomite that's married to a brother or has some kind of ties to, But the spirit is on her, man, to come out and fulfill prophecy, which is these scriptures we're reading. Okay? It says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Pestilence, this last little thing, what was it? This pestilence that's out of Africa, okay? And then I seen this one video, they had some Africans to come in Houston. And they was coming through the airport chanting, some type of, slogan, their slogan. So whatever that is that they talked about, that plague or that virus or whatever, is going to eventually turn on the Americans, which, you're seeing everything anyway. I was watching a video last night where, they had a whole lot of cases of HIV in different cities. I think I seen like 16,000 or 30,000 in Chicago. I did a video a few weeks ago about, I think it's 20,000 in Atlanta, something like that. These are known cases, so imagine the thousands of people that are not seeking to get treated or let it be known. Okay, you have a lot of people in the closet. Matthew 24:8, it says, all these are the beginning of sorrow. Yeah. Okay, these things are the beginning of sorrow, man. So you're gonna see more and more things come to pass. That's prophecy, that's prophetic. And, everything in this book that we read, is going to come to pass. The Lord said his word shall not go out void, meaning that, it's not going to be a stop to it. Okay, everything he says is gonna come to pass, and you know, hey, and you know, with these prophecies coming to pass, the Israelites are that much closer, or the elect of the nation of Israel are that much closer to being rulership. Okay, so let's get a couple more scriptures. I think I had I looked that word up, authority, and let's go. Isaiah 32:5, it says, "The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful." Okay, and you know these liberals. Matter of fact, let's look up the word liberal. The bluer letter. Okay, and this is the outline of biblical uses. It says inclined, willing, noble. And the noble usually is the head, right? It says generous, you know. And, you know, they ain't going to be no more called liberal. Or, you know, it says called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. It said bountiful. Independent, noble, free, rich, generous. You know, this generosity is definitely flying out the window. Okay. So talking about these so-called liberals are not going to be in the stead that they call, you know, say that themselves are, that they are. Okay. Did I read that? Yeah, I did read that. Okay, so yeah, man. Let's see. Let me read that. Yeah, okay. This is AI overview. It says the phrase liberal in the King James Version, KJV, refers to generosity and open, noble heart rather than modern political views. And usually, you know, when you meet a so-called liberal person, you know, they are you know, be the worst ones, you know. You know. Yeah, Isaiah. I just read that one, Salaki. But yeah, when you meet a so-called liberal person, you know, they usually be the worst ones as far as racism is concerned. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's cool. But yeah, that ain't what I was looking for. It was something else I thought I had. I thought it was, but I guess it wasn't. It might be it. Okay. So this woman here is pissed off about, you know, it ain't really about being a man. It's just all about, you know, the respect. And the respect is gone out of the window as far as America's concerned, because we know that, you know, you know, as far as, you know, the scripture is concerned, you know, this is you know, is against these the statutes, laws, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai to, you know, to put on a woman's garment, you know, or a man's garment, a man putting on a woman's garment, basically, you know, even if it's true, you know, I mean, it don't really matter to me regardless, but it is what it is. So, you know, the elites are behind the scenes working. And hey, they gonna get what they deserve. They gonna get what they want, you know. But it's gonna come to not. What I mean by that is their plan. You know, gonna get all the way up to, you know, where the point where they wanted to be at, and is gonna end bad for them. Okay. So we're going to end it there and give all praise and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash, and they tongue shall fall upon them. All right, thus said the scriptures. Till the next time, Shalom.